Hi, I'm out today, but I'm going to do this lesson online. Hopefully it works. Today we're going to multiply powers with the same base. So this will get glued on page number 6 of your interactive notebook. Yes, we skipped page number 5. We did not get to it in blocks 1 and 2. Blocks 3, you will have something on page number 5. For those of you that don't have it, I will give you that page tomorrow. So we're going to multiply powers with the same base. What is 3 to the 4th times 3 squared? So remember from yesterday when we expanded each into the product numbers below. So 3 to the 4th we wrote 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And 3 squared is 3 times 3. Now what you need to do is you need to count all the 3's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 of them. So 3 to the 4th times 3 squared equals 3 to the 6th. So here is the property. What do you do when you multiply powers with the same base? So to multiply powers with the same base, you add the exponents. The algebra is a to the m times a to the n equals a to the m plus n. If at any time you need to pause this, just hit pause as you take your notes and then resume when you are ready. I'm going to do 2 examples for you. 4 cubed times 4 to the 5th is equal to 4 to the 3 plus 5, which equals 4 to the 8th. B to the 7th times b to the negative 4th equals b to the 7 plus a negative 4, which equals b cubed. So let's try some more examples. Problem 1, multiplying powers. Letter A, 12 to the 4th times 12 cubed. We're going to add the exponents. The bases are the same. So 12, 3 plus 4 equals 12 to the 7th. Notice the parentheses in B. So we're going to multiply negative 5 to the negative 2 times negative 5 to the 7th. We need to add their exponents. So negative 5 to the negative 2 plus 7 equals negative 5 to the 5th power. Pause the video right now as you do the U-try. Here are the answers for A, B, and C. A is 8 to the 9th. 3 plus 6 is 9. B is 0.5 to the negative 11. Please remember, we have a negative exponent, and negative exponents need to go to the denominator. So 1 over 0.5 to the 11th power. And C is 9 to the negative 1. Again, we have a negative exponent, and we have to move it to the denominator. Problem 2. What happens if you have you want to multiply an algebraic expression? So what is the simplified form of each expression below? Notice we have 4z to the 5th times 9z to the negative 12. We actually have to multiply 4 times 9 first. That is multiplication. But we have to add the exponents for the next part. So z to the 5th times z to the negative 12, we add exponents. 4 times 9 is 36. 5 plus a negative 12 is a negative 7. And that negative 7, x to the negative 7, has to move to the denominator to get 36 over x to the 7th. Letter B, I have 2a times 9b to the 4th times 3a squared. I have to multiply all my numbers. So 2 times 9 times 3. I then need to multiply the a's, a times a squared, and then I have a b, b to the 4th. So 2 times 9 times 3 is 54. A to the 1st times a to the 2nd is actually a cubed. and then I have b to the fourth. You do the U try. Pause the video. Here are the answers to the U try. Letter A, you should have gotten 5 times 1 times 3, and then your x's, you're going to add your exponents, x to the fourth times x to the ninth times x to the first, to get 15x to the 14th. Letter B, you're going to multiply your numbers, -4 times 7 times 2, and then c cubed times c to the -2, and then d squared. You can only combine like bases to get -56c d squared. Let's look at problem number 3, geometry. These are a little bit more difficult, and we're going to use the distributive property for some of them. The way you find the area of a rectangle and a square is you multiply base times height, or length times width. So the first one would be 2x times 3x squared plus x. And we're going to distribute. So 2 times 3, 2x times 3x squared, and then 2x times x. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, and x times x squared is x cubed, and 2 times 1 is 2, and x times x is x squared. So your answer would be 6x cubed plus 2x squared. B is a square, so we're going to multiply 2x squared times 2x squared. So we need to multiply the 2 times the 2 to get 4, and x squared times x squared. We are going to add those exponents and get 4x to the fourth. Letter C is a triangle, and the formula for a triangle, the area is 1/2 base times height. I'm going to write this a little bit differently. I'm actually going to multiply the height times the base, something like that. So I get 1/2 times 2b squared. I'm not going to do that. 2b squared minus 4 times 5b. I'm actually going to do the first part, the 1/2, and distribute it to the 2b squared and the minus 4. And I will get b squared minus 2. I now need to multiply that by 5b. And I'm going to distribute backwards. So 5b times b squared is 5b cubed minus 5b times 2 is 10b. These can get a little confusing, I agree. And the last one is D, and this is a parallelogram, which is just base times height. And that's how you find the area. So it's going to be 3n squared times 6n plus 5. You will need to distribute 3n squared times 6n and 3n squared times 5. So 3 times 6 is 18. N squared times n is n cubed. 3n squared times 5 is 15n squared. You are now going to do some practice. So pause the video and try these problems on your own. Here are the answers. Number 1, 10 to the 9th power. Number 2, 6 to the 12th power. Number 3, 7 squared. Number 4, 4, that's it. Number 5, 12 to the 5th power. Number 6, 3 cubed. excuse me. Okay, let's simplify the expressions. Number 7, t to the 12th power. 8, we need to multiply negative 3 times 5 first to get negative 15, and then add your exponents. 8 plus a negative 5 is 3. Negative 15y cubed. Number 9, we have to multiply our numbers. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. And we have to add our exponents. Negative 1 plus 5 is 4. Number 10, multiply negative 3 times 12 to get negative 36. Add your exponents. Don't forget that that's a 1 by that j, so 6 plus 1 is 7. 11. I don't have to multiply any numbers, but I have to add my exponents. Don't forget the 1 on the first stem. 1 plus 4 plus 2 is 7. And question 12, I have to multiply 8 times negative 5 to get negative 40. Negative 40. And h cubed plus or times h to the negative 4 gives me h to the negative 1. Don't forget to move that negative 1 to the bottom, so negative 40 over h. We don't need to show the 1. Question 13. Remember, you can only combine like bases, so we're going to combine our x's. So x cubed times x to the negative 2 is 3 plus 1 plus a negative 2, or x squared. Y to the negative 1 times y squared is negative 1 plus 2, and again y squared. 14, going to multiply our numbers. So negative 3 times 2 times 7. Negative 3 times 2 times 7 to get negative 42. F squared times f cubed to give us f to the 6th. And g to the negative 3 times g to the negative 2 is negative 5 plus 1, or negative 4. And that negative 4 needs to move to the denominator. So negative 42 f to the 6th over g to the 4th. 2 more areas. Got to multiply 2n cubed times 7n squared plus 3n. Don't forget to distribute. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. N cubed times n is n to the 4th. And our last one is a triangle. 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 4z squared minus 10 times 8z. I'm going to take half of that first part. So half of 4z squared is 2z squared minus 5. I have to multiply that by 8z. Distribute backwards. 8 times 2 is 16. Z cubed minus 40 z. Last but not least, you have a quizzes to complete. Go to joinquizzes.com. Your game code is 484545, and try multiplying exponents. I'll see you tomorrow.